Chris Gardner's story may be one of the most inspiring rags-to-riches stories of all time. Retold in the movie starring Will Smith, Pursuit of Happiness, and in Gardner's autobiography by the same name, it has become a fairly well-known chronicle. As a reminder, Chris Gardner, a medical equipment salesman in San Francisco and aspiring to build a better life as a stockbroker, through some cruel twists of fate, found himself homeless and left to care for his infant son. In the movie, Will Smith's actual son Jaden played the part of Gardner's son Chris Jr. Gardner the senior grew up in a fatherless household like 43% of American children according to the U.S. Census Bureau. As a child, he dreamt of being a jazz trumpeter. Fortunately, his mother, who had a way of keeping him well grounded, said, "Son, there's only one Miles Davis and he got that job, so you have to do something else." What that something else was, he never could have imagined. Against all odds, Gardner managed to work his way through brokerage training, alternating between nights on a Bay Area rapid transit train, bathing and sleeping in a public restroom, and finding a bed in a homeless shelter sponsored by Glide Memorial United Methodist Church. To Reverend Cecil Williams, who pastors the church, said that he regularly saw homeless mothers with children at his shelter, that Chris, a homeless father with a baby, was an unusual sight. Ultimately, Gardner passed his brokerage exam and on the first try, and still homeless, began his career as a stockbroker. Through persistence and long hours, regularly making 200 calls a day, he finally turned the corner. His perseverance at Dean Witter Reynolds led to an even better position with Bear Stearns & Company. And just a few years later, with $10,000 startup capital and one piece of furniture, a desk/dinner table, he opened his own brokerage firm, Gardner Rich & Company, in his Chicago apartment. Today, Gardner is reportedly worth $60 million. Is a regular donor to the Glide Memorial Church and has helped to fund a $50 million project in San Francisco that creates low-income housing and job opportunities in the area of the city where he was homeless. His company even underwrote the bonds for a Bay Area Rapid Transit Improvement Project. He serves on the board of the National Fatherhood Initiative and is a board member of the National Education Foundation. He has met with Nelson Mandela to discuss possible investment in South African emerging markets. Gardner commented that when he entered Mandela's office, the South African leader said, "Welcome home, son." At 46 years old, said Gardner, that was the first time a man had said, "Welcome home, son," to me. As I learned when I had heard the opportunity to hear Chris Gardner speak recently, there's more to this story than what was depicted in the book or the countless articles written about his incredible journey. Yes, it's about a man who was determined to become a success, who persevered against all odds, who achieved fortune and fame, who gave back to the community, the country, and the world. But more importantly, Gardner's is a story about a dad. As a very young child growing up without a dad, Gardner vowed that when he had a child, he would always be there as a presence for life, more important than anything else he would do. When most men would have found Gardner's situation insurmountable and shed their responsibilities for an infant son, Gardner kept his vow, and Chris Jr. became his inspiration. One evening, shut out at the shelter and without a place to sleep, at the depths of personal despair, young Chris looked up at Gardner and said, "Papa, you know what? You a good papa." Those words bolstered his spirit and helped drive Gardner on to another day. Chris Gardner summed up his fight for survival and his focus on making life for his family in 4 prophetic words. That's what dads do. That's what dads do. As I see it, a worthy lesson to live by. Thanks for tuning into this special Father's Day edition of the Longstreet Beat. I'll see you again next time.